Okay, that's what we're gonna go with.
So no one believes that, right?
Why is it a penis besides the long thing?
I don't know why we started calling
No, it's
him
called
Jared A. Penis.
No, it's just called.
His middle name's Alexander.
Oh, well, then that's why.
Oh, okay. That now
I had to memorize that shit for pledging all the way back in the day.
Now
Jared
things become
A.
clear.
Penis.
That's why he's Jared A. Penis then.
Yep.
We're talking about Shy, in case Rock
Gotcha.
in case Rock wasn't aware.
All right. We are live. But
Okay.
nobody watches this, so it's okay that we talk shy.
Sometimes rewatch
Nobody outside of this circle watches this, so we're fine.
Yeah. Gee, honestly, the biggest problem for your metrics is now that I've joined the game, you've lost a viewer.
Yeah, well,
You've lost half your viewers.
yeah, we've lost 80% of our viewers. Wait, 80%?
Let's say we lost Coffee when she moved. We lost.
That's like when my friends got drunk one night at my house and someone broke a glass, and I was like, "You just broke 33% of my glasses."
No,
I was very
I'm not
young.
worried about this channel's metrics.
All right. So yeah, let's pick up. Last episode, you guys entered your new tavern, the Morning Wood. You took it
Bright and
over
early.
and just assumed that everyone knew about this, and the bartender had no idea. And he was not very happy about that. Tears were shed. But I think you guys ended up convincing him to stay on as the barkeep. And you'll be giving him, I think, all of the income for now until you guys can create more income somehow.
Correct.
Okay.
This should be a net positive for our humble
Yeah,
friend.
he's gonna make out like a bandit.
Jacob. I can't believe I remember his name.
For Jacob, yep. Yes, and so you guys went to go look for some higher quality alcohol, HQA.
Ah, yes, the HQA.
HQA.
And so you heard from him that there was a specific bar that was selling it. So you guys headed down to the Salty Chub, I believe.
The saltiest.
And there you met the barkeep and were talking to him, and there was some spells to be cast that kept him talking. You guys found out they got their shipments from upriver every few weeks or so, but he doesn't have any more info than that. And then I think you guys ended with discussing about leaving the snake on the dock and having it report back for updates on when new boats come in.
I think we
also
actually did that. We weren't discussing it.
we definitely did it. We then discussed the fact that the snake only has an intelligence of 2. So
Oh, did we discuss that?
yeah. Rock pointed it out.
Baron
We'll see how
might
that works
have. Baron might only have an intelligence of 2. I don't know.
Scrug definitely does.
That's true.
That's what he
All right,
wants
so-
you to think.
You guys are back at the bar then? Or is that where you're heading, or are you going somewhere else?
Were there
On
any
you guys.
other? So Jacob sent us to talk to this salty, whatever
Chubb.
Salty Chub.
chub.
Salty Chub owner.
In pursuit of this HQA stuff, were there any other taverns that we wanted to hit up, or that he told us about, or is this...
He didn't tell you about any other ones.
Okay,
No.
cool. I mean, yeah, we'd probably go back to the tavern. Thoughts?
Works for me.
Yep, I'm good with that.
On the way.
All right, guys, hear me out. What if we don't fight the God
Oh, no.
Emperor, but what if we just go in nice and stealthy, like grab Gurks and run for our short king lives? You know, we don't even have to fight him. Then there's no chance of death, right? I'll go in, goblin burglar style, in and out. 10 minutes tops.
Can't he teleport? He
I mean,
literally
he knows where to
teleported
go.
into the room.
Well, yeah, that's because the Braille was doing the little clicky clicky thing. Nobody will be doing that this time.
Yeah, but how do you know he doesn't have a bond or a link with Gurks that he knows where Gurks is now?
My bond to Gurks is stronger than his bond.
A lot of bond talk.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I am not in favor of this plan.
Definitely not into it.
So we don't know. We're not going to beat this to death, but essentially, especially if there's literally not even rolling for it or anything, Scrugg is not. I mean, it's just not Scrugg. He's not going to continue spending more than like maybe another day twiddling around here in Belton before he would go off on his own on his dragon idea.
Say, I can't wait for us to just be walking places and you just hear Scrugg under his voice. Well, you know, if we had Gurks right now.
So here's a question. Like, what's the plan here? Like, Scrugg gets pissed off, and then what? Do you re-roll a new character?
Yeah, because that's what's gonna happen. Doc is gonna re-roll a new character.
So, out of game, basically. It's basically what I did in the beginning, where I just sat out for a session or two. Well, Scrugg's going to go attempt his dragon plan and either get eaten or come back with a posse of dragons.
Can we sim that, like, just live sim it at the end of an episode? It's like, okay, we're gonna do it right now. Rock's like, all right, Doc, you have 8 rolls to make this successful. Let's see it. That's what I want to see.
I don't know what Rock has planned, if he has anything planned, but that's like, I'm okay with whatever. But I told him, I said, I'm okay sitting out a session or two. But that's what Scrugg would do. Like, he's not gonna just say, well, the party stays here, so I'm gonna stay here. This is Scrugg we're talking about, so. If there's no convincing, which it doesn't sound like there is, then Scrugg is going to pretty impatiently huff off on his own for an episode or two to try to find this dragon clan and bail their services.
So what do you do then? Just sit out?
Yeah, I'll just watch. I'll still be entertained.
Like, again, out of game, I'll say it's not that there's no convincing. It's just that you need an idea.
There's not, and I legit have probably spent a couple hours this last week trying to come up with good reasons, and there really aren't any to overcome the hump of, oh yeah, this God Emperor just did everything he did that you guys saw.
See, and the crazy
people don't go after Gurks right now.
Hey, and the crazy thing about that, Doc is at least 150 times smarter than Scrugg. So Doc can't come up with a good plan.
And sometimes cosplaying Scrugg and myself is a little too.
Yeah. So even if you have a plan, there's almost no world where you're going to convince Baron this is a good idea, because he actually saw everything. He saw the incredibly fast hands.
I have one follow-up question, and that is,
like, the whole party would have to agree, and Baron would basically be like, all right, I'm going to go only because I don't want everyone to die, but I think we're all going to die.
That was my whole plan was, okay, I know that Ash is like on the fence. If I can come up with a good reason, or if I can get Aklon on my side, maybe Ash will kind of fold a little easy. And then it's like Baron's he's the odd man out instead of Scrugg being the odd man out. And hopefully that would have been enough. And I was
it doesn't take much. It just takes
new guy.
Even a little bit of a plan.
There's not enough info to come up with anything more solid.
So I have one more question, then we can get back to it. And that is, like, okay, so let's say you get to the point where Scrugg's pissed off and he's going to go off on his own. Like, could you just, instead of just sitting out 2 episodes, or unless you just are trying to take a break, but could you just roll and then, like, roll for whether or not Scrugg dies on his adventure or not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If he does, you immediately re-roll a new character and we introduce him. And if not, then you can sit out a couple episodes.
That's up to Rock. I mean, I've got characters locked and loaded. I kind of what do I want to say?
Cash coming back.
Good old
Cash is already dead.
He already got brought back as a zombie. You can't get Brock back.
Hey, just saying.
But I figured, like, if you guys did this little riverside quest, basically, I don't know what the timelines look like, but while you do that, Scrugg does his thing, and then we reconvene when you guys are like, well, what do we do now? Scrug comes in riding another red dragon.
I mean,
Your
assuming
check,
Scrug
by the way,
survives.
for whether or not you live or die is roll a D100. You survive with a 96 or better.
Yeah, exactly.
I
want to
kind
see
of-
that.
I hope
wanna
Rob
see-
doesn't pull punches because
That's-
I mean, this is a stupid plan. It is. It 100% is.
I want to see that
That's what
roll though,
Scrub
is what I'm saying. Like if you do decide, I want to see it, is what I'm saying. Whatever you decide to
Okay.
do, if that's what happens, I want to see it. So don't do it like, you know,
Okay.
out
So-
of game, out of session.
So, two things. One, because I just joined the game, I'm not weighing in because I don't know the whole backstory from like an out of game perspective. But also, Lyndall does not know any of this, so he's just going to be kind of sitting tight. Out of game, I kind of like the adventurousness of Scrug's suggestion because it's just like one
It's
of those
great.
things that's like just stupid enough to work in a high fantasy.
The problem
game.
is right now
Oh,
it's
look
too
at us all
stupid to
killed.
work.
But yeah, and here's the problem. It's like I'm the fifth
That's a better
player,
way of
so
putting it. It's too stupid to work.
Yeah.
in a hypothetical vote, I don't want me in my second session to be the deciding vote to send us all on a suicide mission when you
Right,
guys
fair.
have put in the time to get all the way to level 10. So
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
right now there is no deciding vote because I don't have a good enough reason to convince Aklon or Ash to join.
And his
So
best
that's-
bet, by the way, his easiest convincing is going to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, I didn't even think he's going to need to convince you. It was getting someone else convinced, and then Ash will just fall over, kind of basically. Because
If he does manage to convince somebody else, I probably would go along with it.
exactly,
Yeah.
I feel like Ash is so dead even in the middle that he's going to lean whichever way is the majority.
that's why I went after Aklon and spun my wheels for too long. Here we are.
He's too
right,
reasonable.
so what's the current pitch, Doc? That we go to this family and you know the brother and mother question mark?
No, so the
No.
mother sent the brother to attack us and get Gurks back. And Scrug did not make a good first impression with that dragon either, by the way. He almost got squashed then. And I don't even remember how it resolved, but
You guys beat the living crap out of it because Ash.
We
came in and
almost
poked it in
killed
the
oh, we
butthole.
did fight it. I was thinking we didn't fight it, but did like
no,
you
we
know-
almost killed it and it ran away
Yep.
like a bitch.
Okay,
Yep.
so never mind. My memory failed me there because that's going to make things even harder. But okay, but yeah, so we beat up the brother that was sent by the. I think the mother. I could be wrong. There could be more. I have no idea. But that's just
Isn't that the one where I
is-
did like 300 points of damage in 3 turns?
Yeah.
You crit multiple times, I think, or something. It was dumb.
But I don't have any good idea, so I don't think we need to spend any more time as far as trying to convince people because I don't have any better idea. So now, like, if you're gonna let me roll for it, then by all means. But like to roll for it, it has to be feasible, and I don't think that's talking with most of you that changing your mind is a feasible thing with what I have brought forth already. So, so yeah, we'll.
So are any of you other guys like even close to considering it? Like, is a DC check even a thing? I know probably not Baron.
Not Baron.
Yeah, but
I didn't,
Aklon,
even-
like,
I didn't even
are
consider
you-
trying to convince Baron.
yeah, Baron's he's obviously the last one you have to go after to
the
convince.
last pillar to fall.
You will never convince. You're basically never going to convince him. The only way he's going to go is if the whole party has decided to go.
Yeah. At this point, no, because I don't
Okay.
even want to go after the God Emperor, let alone the dragons. So,
Yeah.
not currently.
Okay. So we'll, I mean, basically, if we can have a little powwow here where
Oh,
we see,
no.
you guys are like, well, what do we do next? Scrug's gonna say, well, unless it's to go get Gurks back, then that's what I'm gonna go do. If you guys want to follow, great. Obviously, you're not going to.
Plus,
And,
I love that. I love that Scrug is like, well, let's go find these dragons. Where? Well, I don't know. We're gonna find them.
You just have to follow your heart. But first, point of order, I have a signet ring that maybe one of our identifiers could identify.
Oh yes, you did put that in chat, didn't you? Yeah, I can spend 10 minutes doing that.
Definitely a more than a 10-minute walk to where you guys were at, so you could easily do that on the way back.
And hopefully you guys don't mind. I would like that. I saw you pinned it, JD. There was a ring of shooting stars that was on my magic
Yep.
item wish list that we had
Yep.
as well.
What is
and I
this
do.
I don't
and
want to
I do
just
have
loot. I don't want to loot vacuum it, but if no one feels strongly, I kind of feel strongly.
What is this signet? Is that what you're talking